Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I just saw the movie The Gorge. This is the latest film from Scott Derrickson. This is a survival horror romance film, so let's talk about it. So based on the trailers, I was very excited for this film. I'm a big fan of the two performers in the movie, Teller and Anya Tayler-Joy, both of which basically get stuck on a job. They're trying to stop things from coming out of what is called the Gorge, and basically they are on opposite ends in different towers of this thing until one day they meet and kind of start to realize that they have some chemistry sparking between them. They don't actually meet physically, though. They are on opposite sides of the gorge, so they have to communicate through binoculars, each one writing messages to one another on pieces of paper. And it's one of the most exciting aspects of the film is watching them having to do all that while balancing out the job that they're there to do, which again is stopping whatever in the hell is in the gorge. I'm a big fan of Scott Derrickson as a filmmaker. Sinister, Black Phone, Doctor Strange are all phenomenal films, and again, based on the concept, I was very much looking forward to it. So that's pretty much what works here, is the concept. I do enjoy the chemistry as well between Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy. I think they work very strongly together, especially the fact that they have to not communicate face to face for so much of this movie. Pretty much the first hour of it is the two of them not communicating face to face, and it really works in that way. I mean, the romance in the film is very strong. It works out very well. These are two excellent performances from them, and I think that there's parts where you can almost say oh, they're just showing off. Sigourney Weaver is also in the film, and she's great in it. My negatives pretty much come down to the fact that Miles Teller's character pretty much has a revelation about midway through the film, and I don't think it was very well fleshed out. It just kind of happened out of nowhere. I thought that was very abrupt, especially for pacing purposes. There are villainous characters in the film, as you'll come to find out as well. I also think that they didn't do a good job giving a good conclusion to the villainous characters. It felt kind of inconsequential by the end of it. But I must say, I really enjoyed watching this movie. The third act, or the second half of it actually, almost is completely action almost, and I almost would have preferred it to lean a little bit more into the suspense instead of the action of it, but it was still fine to watch, I guess. The film is shot beautifully throughout it, and I think that the thing that weighs down the visuals of it are just the CGI effects. I do think that because of the limited budget that the film had, you can start to notice that, but at the same time you're still very invested because the storytelling is pretty good. And this does very much emulate something like a survival horror video game. I don't mean that in a bad way. That is kind of how it feels when you're watching it. I just thought the first half of this movie was just so much stronger than its second half, because the second half, again, sometimes it can feel a little bit inconsequential. And while I think it's a very ambitious film stylistically, it just feels like it's a little style over substance in the second half. But I'm still pretty happy with how everything concluded. It's not like the film is leaving me with a lot of loose ends in there. And again, the chemistry between our two performers here, Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy, constantly keep it afloat. There's one other scene in this film that involves a drum set. It just seemed a little over the top. Speaking of drums, the music in this is very good. I enjoyed the soundtrack completely throughout. I thought it had some pretty good needle drops, so to speak, so I think you guys might enjoy that. So is this a good movie? Yeah, it's really good. If you got an evening with nothing to do, I definitely recommend putting it on. It's just a really fun watch for the most part. This is on the lower tier of Scott Derrickson films for me, though, but I still enjoyed myself while watching it. Thought maybe it just rushed a little too much toward its ending. It started to rush through a lot of different plot lines, so that's the only real unfortunate thing coming out of it. So yeah, guys, The Gorge is going to get a might watch from me. Let me know what you guys thought of this film. Did you like it? Maybe you loved it a lot more than I did, or was it not enough for you? Did it need to do more? Let me know in the comments below. And before I get out of here, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, and hit that bell for notifications. It's always much appreciated. My name is Dom, and I will talk to you guys later.